What is up? I am the Wanderlusting Lawyer. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited to be making this video today. I've been waiting a little while to be able to confirm this, and just want to say in advance, I apologize for the kind of strange lighting. I'm making videos at the usual time, this video at the usual time I make videos, but this crazy thing happened the other day. I was standing in the kitchen, heard a super loud cracking noise, look out the window to see my neighbor's a branch from my neighbor's massive oak tree fall onto and into her house. Everybody's okay, thank God. So they actually took down the tree today, and it has completely changed the lighting in our house. So I'm gonna figure things out on my end with the lighting, but it's also just kind of the perfect reminder that you never know what is going to happen. And if you've been dreaming of your Camino or getting back to the Camino, now is the time to make it happen. I'm so happy that everybody's okay though. So speaking of, yes, that is the big announcement. I am headed back to the trail. I'm headed back to the Camino. I will be doing a new route. The Camino Inglés. The Camino Inglés. This is anywhere from a 4 to 10 day, about 122 kilometer trail that leaves traditionally from Ferrol more in the north of Galicia and goes on to Santiago. There is an alternative route that starts in A Coruña, but that is fewer than 100 kilometers, so you don't get the Compostela if you do that route. Why am I doing the Camino Inglés? There are a couple reasons, and I've written them down here to jog my memory. The first is kind of the most important, I suppose, is the amount of time. I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to put together a Camino this summer, but I need to get back there. It's just like, you know, the calling I have. It's been a couple years since I did the Camino Aragonés, and really, I'm be spending time with my wife's family in France first, and so 5 days is really the maximum amount of time I can swing. It's really going to end up being more like 8 with the travel time, because it's not the easiest place to get to and leave from. And I will have a full video about where I'm traveling to, my methods of transportation for the Inglés. But yeah, I wanted to find a full route, not just a piece of a route. Route. Do you guys say route or route? Anyway, I feel like I say both, but a complete Camino, if you will. And this time I really did want to end up in Santiago. The last time when I did the Aragonés, that was not crucial to me. I had different goals then, but this time I feel like it'll be 5 years, a little less than 5 years that I haven't been to Santiago. So I'm aching to get back. The other great thing about such a short Camino, so I'm going to try to do it in 5 days. That's really what my trip is planned around. If I end up needing or having extra time, I'd love to extend it to 6 or 7. Then you never know, right? If you're making your little Camino family, when you're going to, where people are going to stop. So I'm trying to be flexible about it, but my plan is to do it in 5 days. But the great thing about a Camino of that length for me is that it's going to allow me to try new gear. I think I'll be testing out a new pack. And I still love my Marmot Graviton 36 pack that I've made several videos on if you want to check those out. But the one problem I have as a pilgrim is I tend to bring more things, all of which I use, but then I struggle with organization, and it takes me forever to get packed in the morning. Like, I mean, it just takes me forever, even if I'm the last one. So I have a different pack that I want to try out. It's interesting because it doesn't have some of the features I used to think were really important. I'm going to be able to see if they actually are still important or not, if I'm missing them. It has some of the additional pockets that I'm looking for. So I will definitely discuss that in another video. But yeah, I'll be able to try, 5 days is still a long time, but I feel more comfortable if I'm not thrilled with the pack, if I'm not thrilled with my shoe choice. I always have my trusty Keens that I'm gonna bring, and the days will be mostly shorter so I can make it work. I also love that the Inglés, a lot of it is by the coast. I think, yeah, I love the beach. I love the water, and that's going to be a unique aspect for me. I haven't done any Caminos that went by the coast. I haven't gotten to experience that, you know, besides from maybe being by a river, but that'll be, I think will bring a lot of beauty to this Camino that I'm excited about. I think there's going to be, so the Inglés, I think, is the 5th most populated Camino route. And I think that's going to allow for a really nice mix of time between probably a good amount of time walking on my own, but knowing that there will be people that I'll see at night. I mean, on my Camino Aragonés, there were multiple nights that I was the only one in the albergue. So I'm looking forward to having more pilgrim interaction this time, especially like with shorter walking days. I'll have more time to socialize. And that's another thing. I wanted a route that would allow me to have shorter walking days, because on many days on the Aragonés, I was walking until like 4:35. What the latest night was, 2 nights I think were 7:30, and it just allowed for very little socialization after. I was just exhausted. Whether I did that route right or wrong, it was what it was, but I want this to be a little bit more of a tranquilo Camino. So that was another factor that I was considering in choosing the Inglés. And then another big one for me is the fact that there are very, very few, despite it being a frequently traveled route, I will need to look more closely at the numbers. And the name is the English way, right? The Camino Inglés. And it was the traditional route that people would take from England, Ireland. And I know there is a short, maybe 30-kilometer section you can actually do in Ireland, and then continue on from A Coruña to be able to get your certificate. I won't be doing that, but despite that history, my experience in the Camino Inglés Facebook groups that I'm a part of is that the vast majority of pilgrims are Spanish pilgrims, which is great. I speak Spanish. I'm excited about that interaction, but I'm really curious to see what the breakdown is of people on this Camino, age, gender, country, where you're coming from, what your previous Camino experience is. Did you pick this as a first-time Camino? In that vein, I'm hoping to do some interviews with the pilgrims that I meet. But all that to say is I'm really excited because I feel like I will be able to fill a much-needed void on information on this Camino. I know Efren, if you guys know him, has really beautiful videos of the Camino, but his videos, in my opinion, are heavier on the scenery. He's amazing. He's an amazing videographer. He takes incredible drone shots, but doesn't necessarily do the nitty-gritty type of informational videos that I consider my specialty. So like what are the public albergues? What's the infrastructure like in terms of places to eat and stay and things like that? A lot of the very few resources that I came across that cover things in any sort of depth, especially videos, were all in Spanish. So I want to be able to fill that void, bring you guys really solid information, because I think the key here is we've seen, if you've been following, this Camino year is already off to a crazy busy start, and April and May tend to be busier anyway because people are scared of the Spanish summer, which if you've been watching my videos, barring heat waves, which can really happen anytime from May to October, I love the summer. I love July and June for walking. But that aside, I mean, it's just a crazy time. And so I think the Inglés might be like the best kept secret. I hope I'm not gonna spill the secret too much, but the best kept secret in the sense of it gives an alternative to Sarria for people who want a 5, 6, 7 day walking trail, but also to get that the Compostela to arrive in Santiago. This is another way to do it. So I'm going to be able to tell you how to get there, where to stay, what it's like, and I'm really excited about that. So let me know your thoughts below. Are you excited to follow this journey? Do you have any specific questions? Have you done this Camino? What kind of tips can you give me? And of course, if you're going to be in Santiago, I'm leaving. I get to Santiago on, I want to say, So I'm flying into Santiago, and then I will travel up to Ferrol, and then obviously walk back to Santiago. So I arrive in Santiago on, I want to say it's a Sunday in June. So I think that's June 11th. It could be June 12th. Whatever that Sunday is, I'll be in Santiago. So if you're around and you want to meet up for a cerveza, let me know. And then I'll also be there previously. So just let me know if you're in Santiago around the first kind of 12 days of June, or in that Galicia region, and maybe we can meet up. That would be awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. I'm so excited about this Camino. A month from tomorrow, I travel to Santiago. So it's just like crazy because I've barely started preparing my gear, and I don't want to make the mistake of thinking I'm ready and then getting injured or forgetting things. So anyway, I'm so excited to share that news with you guys. Let me know your thoughts below. Please leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Buen camino to you, and soon to me.